This is a demonstration of the installation of the Lockpick. We're in a 2013 Ford Escape. On the back side of the screen is just a single connector that we're going to take loose for the lockpick installation itself. There's a little tab you press in at the top, and the locking bar will release the connector itself. Lockpick harness is simple plug and play. For your installation, you're going to push all the cables back and mount the module behind the screen itself. For the Ford Escape, we're going to have the vehicle select in the 0 position. Also, we have switches on the side here for activating or deactivating cameras or enabling the video inputs on the box, things like that. In this particular installation for this Ford Escape, they do not have a rear camera in the car. We place the vehicle into reverse, the screen stays just the standard radio screens. We're going to go ahead and enable that, and I'll show you how that works. On the Lockpick, all you do is take the switch number 1, press it down, like so. The screen will go black like this, and it'll take up to 30 seconds before it turns back on again and reboots. It'll give you a signal and a graph on the screen here that says it's performing system maintenance, and say that could take up to 30 seconds, so just be patient with it while it reboots. After it reboots, what you're going to do is make sure that you have your backup camera plugged into the harness. There's a video input already provided for you on the harness. It's labeled rear camera input. And again, there's also video inputs for additional cameras. This can be for a front camera that can automatically turn on while you're driving slowly, or you can activate it manually at any time. And you also have another aux input here that you can substitute for a second rear camera or for any other function you'd like to plug into it. The screen now is beginning to reboot, and here's that graph that we talked about earlier. And it takes a few seconds for that to completely finish. It'll kind of get to the end and hang for a second and then finish. When it completes rebooting, then the system is now set up for a backup rear camera, and we'll demonstrate that with a simple video input here. I'm just going to plug in, in this particular case, an iPhone with the video input coming into the rear camera. Our screen is finished rebooting now. I'll place the vehicle into reverse. What would normally be your backup camera now is the video that we plugged in, showing here from the iPhone. It will automatically shut off when the car is put back into park and operate just like a standard factory rear view camera. The steerable controls are going to activate the Lockpick functions. You have 2 of them they're going to use for this particular application. One of them is the home button here. This will be what activates your camera, and then the back side here you have your voice button. If you pull this towards you and hold it for 3 seconds, that will activate the override features for your video input jacks that are factory in the car here. It allows you to get your AV inputs activated while in motion and in drive. The other function here is for the home button that activates cameras. If I hold this for 3 seconds, it's going to activate the rear camera input, which in this case here is our video that we plugged into it from the iPhone. If that was your rear camera that you had in the car, you'd be seeing the rear camera input right now. The Lockpick has the ability to toggle between the video inputs that are included on the box, and that's going to be done using, again, this voice button. So just push it and tap it, and that will go through the different video inputs that you have enabled. To enable the video inputs of the box, you're just going to put the dip switches down. So switch 3 and 4 are going to correspond to the front camera or the aux input. And so you can plug anything you want into them. If you're going to use these jacks, go ahead and enable them with the dip switches on the box. The removal of the rear camera, if you want to restore the car back to its factory setup without a backup camera on it, what you're going to do is just put switch 1 back up, take switch 2, press it down. The screen's going to go black again, and we'll be restoring the car back to its original factory setup. And the reassembly is basically just an opposite of what we did to take it out. Very often you have to reseat these air conditioning vents. They just clip back in whenever you're taking the panel out. Sometimes they pop out of place. That completes your installation.